What's up, guys? RBG here. Today, I'm going to be going over the tournament that happened that Max Tapera hosted. I'm going to be linking his YouTube channel down below, and you can find all the VODs, I believe, of the matches that were played, as well as some winners interviews, and kind of link to him. Shoutouts to Max Tapera for hosting this tournament. I didn't play in it. I was busy with my other card game locals that day. I wish I could have. It would have been a lot of fun. I just wanted to quickly go over the top 8 deck lists and kind of go over what decks did well, what cards are new, and what cards are kind of entering the meta, and cards that you should be aware of, and things that are interesting and kind of outside the normal from what you've seen in the first competitive tournament results we're going to really be looking at together. As far as top 8 goes, there's 3 Victor. I don't think that's a surprise. I think it's pretty clear Victor is one of the best decks in the room at the moment. Outside of that, there was an Ari, a Jinx, a Lee Sin, a Lux, and a Darius. All of those are decks that I thought were going to be playable as well. I'm super hype. Ari actually got 2nd place, so I'm super excited to hear that Ari is doing well, because that is one of my favorite pet decks, even though I think I'm going to end up playing Victor just because it's so good. Now, first, we have Victor V5 made by AL808. This was the first place deck list. A couple of cards to take into note. A lot of this looks pretty similar to what people have been thinking as far as the playstyle goes. They are correct. So they're playing 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 2-drops. So that is the optimal number somewhat to see a 2-drop going first or seconds after you mulligan 7 cards. It makes the odds of seeing a card pretty high. I'll put the statistics right up here so you can kind of see what having 8 2-ofs means as far as your chances of drawing it going first or second. He is also playing 9 3-drops, which is another thing that I'll show the statistics of above, of how likely it is to draw going first or second, so you can kind of tailor your hand to be as nice as possible. He's actually playing mono yellow, which I actually agree with. So you're not playing anything that's going to be recycling a blue rune, so you might as well just play mono yellow, so you can always recycle a yellow card when you can. You will notice he's not playing a lot of cards that are going to be recycling in low cost, because you do kind of want to ramp up a bit, which I think should be kind of how the meta is moving as well. Also, forgot, shout out Riftbound decks for the deck profiles and stuff. So I'm going to shout out and link their Twitter below as well. Cards that I think are interesting in this deck list that not every deck list has is Falling Comet. So this deals 6 to a unit at a battlefield for 5 mana. It's an action, so you can play it on your turn or showdowns, and it doesn't recycle any mana. So a lot of the removal in a lot of these decks is removal that's going to cost something. Usually you have to recycle a mana, or you have to stop your curve, or you let your opponent draw 2 cards, or you have to kill one of your units. And this is a nice upper end removal option to kind of have a play, deeper into the game to help finish out games. And a lot of big units are right around that 5 attack mark. So that's a really interesting card that I haven't thought of, that I think you guys should consider as well in your Victor deck list. He is also playing Consult the Past. I think this is kind of a blue staple at this point. You can recycle. It's 4 mana, but you can hide it. So it is essentially a freaking recycle 1 mana, draw 2. That's broken. I shouldn't have to explain why that's broken. And then also you're going to be playing Noxian Drummer. That's a card I haven't seen a lot, but it did get revealed recently. So I think that's it makes sense. But the 2 cards I think that are interesting in this deck list is Falling Comet and Consult the Past. The rest kind of looks pretty standard, but standard isn't bad. Keep that in mind. Going on to the 2nd place list, it is actually an Ari list. I really like this Ari list. So he is playing the 3 blue Ari, 1 green Ari, playing Meditation at 3. I love to see it. I'm a huge fan of Meditation, if you know. Playing 1 block, I could completely understand that, and playing the Kais as the top end, as well as the new Victor. I think a few cards that I don't have in my lists that I want to look at is definitely the Victor, maybe playing less blocks, and Consult the Past I haven't added yet because that card got revealed pretty recently, but that card's broken. This looks like a very, very good Ari list, and a good place to start if you're building Ari. Nothing too crazy that I'm seeing. Just, Eager Apprentice is good. Windwall at 1 instead of 2 is good. Defy at 2 instead of 3 is interesting. I feel like I'd play 3 counter spells before I'd play 3 Stupefies, but maybe that's different and he feels differently. So that's something interesting, though. It's a good list to look at. Next was another Victor. This Victor is playing Seals of Unity. I think Seals across the board are kind of noob traps, to be honest, because they don't really... The only time they are going to actually get you any meaningful value is if you play multiple recycle ones throughout a game. Once you play 2 recycle ones and you're able to use Seals of Unity to stop a recycle cost twice, at that point it's made its value. But if you don't do that, it kind of doesn't have enough value. It's also playing Forge of the Future, which is very interesting. Other than that, the deck list looks pretty good. I do like the Ari 3-drop, and the Darius as a higher end option is really nice. And Machine Evangel and Shen. I think Shen's a really good card that should be explored in Victor a little bit. But I think the Seals I wouldn't play. And maybe not the Ari as well. But the Shen and the Darius I really like as good options. But again, he top 3'd. I didn't even play in the tournament, so I can't question him too much, but it is overall a pretty good list. I do like it. Going on next, we have a Jinx list. Again, playing the Seals of Rage. Cleave's a good option. Immortal Phoenix. I'm seeing if there's anything interesting. Draven is an endgame piece. No, it looks like a pretty standard Jinx list. One thing I forgot to mention with Vi, some people don't know this and you might find this interesting, is Vi is actually not once per turn with recycling from trash. So if you have 3 cards or 4 cards in your trash, you can actually keep recycling the cards to keep buffing it. I think that's something not a lot of people know for some reason, because it's not a very intuitive thing to understand, but that's actually really interesting. Other than that, just a pretty standard list, very low top end. This is kind of like your aggro deck. No interesting battlefields or anything. I like this list. I, again, wouldn't still play the Seals, but because I don't think you're getting the value out of that, but you know, it's up to you. I think Seals is a noob trap a little bit though. Next is a Lee Sin deck list. So this is 5th place. Really interested. I like the Pit Rookie and the Poro. I think the Poros are going to see more use. The Kiana is broken. Kiana is one of the better like cards, and then same with Udyr. I really like Udyr in this deck. It makes it's such a hard boss to deal with, and if they can't deal with it, the game gets out of control really, really fast. So I do like Udyr a lot. Playing 3 Lee Sin's Charm. I like this list of Lee Sin for sure. I would definitely try this list out. It seems like a very clean, well-built list overall. Yeah, I don't hate anything. I would add Meditation personally, but this list has a lot of sense behind it. Or I would add Arena Bar. I don't know why they're not playing Arena Bar. That's interesting to me. Lux. I actually haven't even tested any Lux yet, so I can't speak too much on this, but they are playing the Promising Future card, which they both draw 5, I believe, and just playing endgame spells as well. This got, I think, 6th or 7th. I'm not sure. I don't unfortunately know too much about this deck, so I can't speak on it too much and how it plays and how it does. I haven't gotten around to testing it yet, but if you're interested in Lux, this is a really interesting list. I do like the Recruit the Vanguard and the Promising Future and Falling Comet seeing more play, though. Another Victor deck. Again, Seals, I think, is a new bait. Echo is interesting, something to try. Unchecked Power is an endgame finisher instead of 3 Grand Strategist. He's playing 1 Unchecked Powder. That's good, but then you have to play blue runes, and sometimes you can't play the cards correctly. Overall, a really clean list, though. I do like the Darius as the upper end choice. I think that's really, really cool. Then 8th place, we have Darius. Looking at this list, it looks pretty normal. Captain Ferran is kind of new. Playing a Victor is very interesting. I don't hate that though, because you have a lot of creatures that are just going to die. So they're playing it more as a yellow deck almost than a red deck, which I actually kind of like the theory of playing such a huge yellow card package instead of focusing more on red. Again, I think the Seals is kind of a new bait. I don't think we need to play those cards, but overall, a really good list. I like how they're playing more yellow. They're still playing red, but they're playing a lot more of the just yellow good stuff cards. A lot of the yellow cards that are around 2 to 3 mana just have a lot of value on them. So I do like to see that. This list is really cool. Overall, again, shout out to Max Tapera, shout out Riftbound Decks on Twitter for, showing these deck lists and stuff. And overall, this looks really cool. I'm really happy to be able to go over some competitive results and start looking and seeing what people are playing and why they're playing it, and interesting decisions and how the meta trends and stuff. I think it's clear Victor is one of the best decks, but the meta still will develop. We have 100 more cards to be revealed still at the point of recording this video, so we'll kind of see what happens. Overall, really cool. RBG out. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all your support. I hope you guys have a great day.